Do you trust your crypto assets to centralized exchanges that actively sell your private information and front run your trades? Would you like to buy and sell your assets without any middlemen, intermediaries, or robots? Do you like paying slippage, fees, and having the price go up as bots steal from you on low liquidity decentralized exchanges? The solution is NodeMarket.io. Set your guaranteed buy or sell price. No middlemen, no slippage, no bots, ever. Buy or sell 1, 10, or even 10 million tokens, and you never have to worry. OTC trades are between you and the seller or buyer, guaranteed by audited smart contracts and no human middlemen. NodeMarket.io.
I guess we'll answer these as we go. Yes, you have to fill out the form because if you don't know what you're buying, you're not allowed to buy it. Sam, Common Sense 101. If you don't know what a twin wallet is, because that's your other question, that means you haven't read the white paper, you haven't looked at their website, and you don't know what you're buying. You're not allowed to buy anything. If you don't know what you're buying, don't fucking buy it. That's not just for you, Sam. That's for anyone. Come on, man. You guys got to wise up. You can't be buying stuff you don't understand. If you're in the crypto space, that's why today we're going to do basic terminology. Because I'm going to be honest, there is some cryptarded people here, not just in this group, like in this space. We have a very low investment IQ. So today we're going to work on that. We're going to do basic terms that everybody that's ever invested a single fucking dollar needs to know. And you're going to watch this video 473 goddamn times until you know what every one of those terms are. Or put your money back in your bank and quit messing around in places that you don't understand. And then here's what happens. You go invest in, even not if it's in crypto, in just in other markets, and you lose money because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And you don't understand what you're doing. You don't understand the terms, the basic terminology. And then you tell everybody, oh, crypto's a scam. Stock market's a scam. It's rigged. Bitch, it's not rigged. It's only rigged if you're an idiot. It's rigged if you're an idiot. Guess what? The whole world is rigged if you're an idiot, man. Come on. I can't tell you the amount of dumbass like questions, emails that we get. Luckily, it's not mostly from the digital investors. That's a very smart group. Luckily, those questions are a little bit less stupid. Some of them are pretty stupid, but less stupid. But the general amount of dumbass emails I get makes me realize that it's even easier to make money than I thought because people are stupid. And I say stupid because they're just not willing to do even just the most narrow amount of research. Damn, man. You guys trade all this time for money, for currency units, and then you just flagrantly gamble that shit away into markets. And then when it doesn't work out, surprise, surprise, it's a scam. Like, those markets are a scam. I'm gonna leave my money at Chase, where it's not a scam, right? Damn, dude. You guys got to wake up. All right, I'll keep saying hi. Let me keep saying hi to everyone. All right, see. Having trouble getting USDC from Coinbase to MetaMask. Square pops up, making sure you use the right network, but I can't see the whole square. Are you on your phone, Sherry? Don't use your phone, Sherry. That's another lesson. If you're using a computer and a square's popping up and you can't see what's going on, then something's up with your computer screen because it's very clear when you're doing a transfer to select the Ethereum network. So that's a Sherry practicing on Coinbase thing and not using your phone. Real quick, everybody here, do you and should you ever use your phone for crypto transactions? Anyone? Anyone want to chime in? I hope you're picking up on the amount of clear, obvious, almost embarrassed for you sarcasm. I mean, it's not really sarcasm, it's rhetoric. Okay. You emailed Brandon about Coinbase or about your screen. Okay, here's another thing. Quit emailing us stupid shit. Not you, Sherry, but everybody. If you have a problem, if your car won't start in the morning, don't email Brandon. If you can't get your phone screen to turn on, don't email Brandon. Don't email Brandon if you have a problem with your priest or your kids at school or your marriage counselor. There's a certain amount of shit we can't do for you. And if you're having problems with the basics, then you need to go back and you need to get good at the basics. Not even brilliant. Just be good. You guys are being far too flagrant, far too lazy with your money. Like embarrassingly lazy with your money. You say, well, I've got to do this or I've got to do that. No, you don't have to do shit. You don't have to do anything. That's another thing. You're not missing out. You're missing out when you do something stupid and send your money into fucking hyperspace. That's when you're missing out. You're not missing out right now. Man. Whew. Got to work on this stuff, bro. Like, it's mind-boggling how quick people are to just punt their money into hyperspace, have no idea what they're doing. Crazy. Oh, you're in Playa. Ooh, I bet it's awesome. I love Playa. Probably going to be a lot of fun, too, around the new year. I've not spent a new year there, but I do have a friend who's traveling. They're going to go, they're going, he and his sister going to go to Tulum, I think. So that's only like half an hour away from you. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see. Yep, that's the question. Computer or phone? Bum, bum, bum. Good morning, 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 good morning, morning. I don't think you should be telling. I'm telling you right now that if you're telling me I shouldn't be telling you you're not qualified to buy, Sam, I'm going to say on the record, Sam is not qualified to buy because Sam doesn't have the basic skills necessary to make an informed decision. Buddy, step one of being an accredited investor is getting there financially. Step two is knowing what you're doing, Sam. If you don't know what you're doing, and also if you're investing in a project, well, let's let the people decide. Should you invest in a project that you don't know what it is, that you haven't read the white paper, you haven't read the abstract? Should you? I don't know. What say you people? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe I'm lucky that I'm rich. Maybe I just got lucky for 10 years straight. Very lucky. Over and over. Real lucky. I guess I should buy lottery tickets because I'm so lucky. No, Sam, I read shit. I read everything. Then I read it again. Make sure I read it right. And then I get someone else like Brandon to read it. And I say, Brandon, did I read that right? He said, I don't know. Let me read it. And then he reads it again. And then he texts me, hey, did you read what I read? I don't know. What'd you read? I'm going to bet Sam has not done that. Sam, you are not qualified, buddy. This is not a personal attack. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but you're not qualified to have twin tokens. Sorry, bro. Hooday, what up? Let's see. 8th. Okay, yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Man, I'm chastising people today. You guys are getting your asses kicked. You do the research or you get your asses kicked. This is like I try to have a good rant every now and then. So I couldn't think of anything ranty. So I figured I'd rant on you guys. There we go. Yeah. And remember, a lot of these things, Google it first, give it a Google first. There's most of the times the problems are simple transactional problems. We can't help you with that. Matter of fact, that's a barrier to entry. If you're having a transactional problem, you're not ready to own something. No, actually, I'm doing good, Neil. I got my cardio in. I had a chocolate foam cold brew. I had a lemon bread with the little the icing on it. Starbucks, not an advertisement. This is delicious. Delicious stuff. And yeah, we're going to go back to basics. Today we're doing some basic stuff. We're going to it's going to be like school, like boring school. All the terms you need, all of them. We're even going to talk about that dumbass word alpha that idiots keep using on Telegram. They use it because they think that makes them look smart. It makes you look like a damn fool. Hey, bro, where's the alpha? Well, unless you're talking to a hedge fund manager, you dumbass, nowhere. It's fucking nowhere because that term doesn't make sense. Stupid. You just look like an idiot. I'm using the pejorative you. Not Eric. Eric does know. All right. Hello. All right, let's see. Hello. Ooh, whose birthday? Diane? Is it your birthday? Whose birthday? Well, happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños. Not always so good at that. All right. Hello. We're going to get through these, and then we're going to get to the guts. One thing I want to mention. For those of you that are Node NFT holders, the revenue generated by the Twin token launch, which, the Singularity DAO team dropping the ball again because they're going to take the whole holidays off. So again, it will be me and Brandon's job to do everybody else's work, which is fine. This is why we don't count on anybody. This is why we never, ever wait for anyone else to get us software. We just build the shit ourselves. If you wait for other people, they will always let you down. Always. The only time it's like I guess if you own a dumpster near a steak restaurant, every now and then a steak is going to show up in the dumpster. Yeah. That's relying on other people. You got to rely on yourself. So Brandon and I will spin up the token, what Singularity DAO should have done. Brandon and I will do the launch, what they should have done, but doesn't matter. We'll get it done. So lazy. All right. Let's see. You missed a question on the quiz because I didn't see the white paper link until after. Neil, you should have been looking up the white paper before you ever did the quiz, before you ever even wanted to participate, buddy. Come on, bro. Don't get that rookie tag. Don't make me put a little rookie thing, a gold banded R on your avatar there, buddy. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, good. All right. You're on the computer. Then check your screen. There's no reason you should not be able to see what's going on. Maybe use a different browser. Something's weird. Something's very weird. Because, think about the people at Coinbase. I'm pretty sure they want everyone to know what they're doing when they're on their website. They don't make it where you can't see what's going on. So that means you have some selection. If it's an Apple device, hit the command button and the minus button a few times and bring the screen size back down. You might have some weird pop-up shit going on. Depends on what browser you're on. You should either be on Brave or Chrome. None of the other browsers are worth a shit. They're all sketch. Brave, browser, or Chrome. Or you're on some old sketch. All right. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. No. Don't invest in stuff you don't know. It's dangerous. You lose all your shit. Which means you're losing your life. You're losing your life. Think about that, Sam. If you trade your minutes of your life for currency units and then you punt those into the market, you don't know what you're doing. Even if you haven't read what you're buying, that means you don't know what you're doing in this particular case. That means you're being flagrant with your life. I'm trying to save your life, buddy. Even if that means your life has to sit in a bank account right now. Or you could be putting it in USDC, parking it on Coinbase, and getting 5.1%, I think is what they're paying now. Can you believe? Outrageous. I like it. I'm doing it. All right. Yeah. So look, man, don't buy stuff you don't understand. It's okay to be, Chris, good morning. Sorry I'm late. Don't apologize. It's okay to be late. I mean, not for like a test, but like everything else. What are the next 2 milestones with hypercycle? The next 2? I don't know. That's a hypercycle question, buddy. I can tell you, generally speaking, the 1155 token is done. They're working on all the materials to onboard people. Like they could launch that right now this second. I think they want to get through the holidays is my guess. But anyway. Yeah. All right. So I would say compute is they're gonna do a small a test environment for compute with a few clients. That's gonna start in January, which is a few days away. So yeah, it would be 1155 token. It would be marrying the tokens to the licenses, pointing those to either a piece of hardware or a facility, or using your own hardware, whatever it is, and then being part of the compute phase that slowly rolls out, but rolls out in full force in March. Yep. All right. Crypto pilot, you're a crypto pilot. You're telling us, oh Jesus, don't crash your crypto plane. All right. Your transaction for Twin has failed several times. What do you mean? Your sending from one wallet to another has failed. Shut down everything, back out of everything, go back into everything, clear your transaction logs, start over. You may be doing something weird. And Lisa, this may also be telling you going too fast. Slow down. If you guys are hitting these kind of weird problems, technical problems, take it as a message from the universe. Slow down. Don't do it. I would rather you do nothing. I would rather you sit on your damn hands than do something stupid and throw your money away. No, don't throw your life away. You can throw your wife away, but not your life. No, not that either. Both of those. Very intolerant. All right. Okay, use a dedicated computer for all crypto. As do I. That's a really good move. I have one that I don't ever broadcast. I don't even have any social media attached to it. Nothing. And then what I do is I will plug it in to do stuff, unplug it to not. And I never leave. I always lock my wallets before logging out of screens and stuff like that. Yeah. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Yeah, Charlene is correct. There is so many tech tip videos. And if you watch them and you still can't get it, you're not ready to invest. That's not tough love. That's like common sense, man. If you're having trouble doing the basic things, the basic functions in the crypto space, don't be in the crypto space. You can learn about it. You can absorb material and content and like get better at it, but don't actually use real currency units. Come on, man. But yes, Charlene, well said. All right. I use my phone to transfer coin. Don't do it. Don't get in the habit of using your phone to do stuff. I know it's easy. Don't do it. It's too risky. They can use Wi-Fi sniffers and all sorts of other stuff. They can take over your phone. I mean, if you're an AT&T customer, they can just SIM swap your shit instantly. It's like, be careful. Okay. Yes. Yeah, we're going after him. We're going after him, John. Let's see. Hi. I know the receipt is on the blockchain. Do we get any email after sending USDC for the tokens? Yes, you do, from Brandon. Well, that's a very open-ended question. I don't know if you're referring to the Twin specific stuff. Yes. Just transactions in general, you have the transaction record at Etherscan if it's an Ethereum-based USDC transaction. But every blockchain has some scan function, some ledger that you can go and you can, like a library of all the transactions that have ever occurred. Yeah. Okay. This is the key. No phone. No phone. Don't use your phone for crypto. It's too dangerous. Cozumel, I've not been there. Okay. Yeah. God, I got SIM swapped. I got my ass kicked. That cost me a fortune. Let's see. I think we should put it to a vote. Is it Wednesday or is it sticking with Wednesday? It's Wednesday today. For Howard, it's Wednesday. For everyone else. All right. Let's see. phone only. Yeah, you can have stuff that's not active. Like I have live coin watch on my phone, but I don't have live coin watch attached to any of my exchanges. I I enter transactions and all that kind of stuff. This, by the way, is live coin watch is this one, where you can grab stuff, you can make a little portfolio, you can, do all sorts of kind of cool stuff with it, and you can track prices. I like it a lot, and the app is really cool as well. I like the app. There used to be Blockfolio, which was great, but the dirt bags at FTX bought it, and then they shuttered it because they, of course, are bankrupt. Oh man, let me tell you about this. So part of the FTX bankruptcy, they're paying people back based on the price during the bankruptcy. So people that had Bitcoin are getting paid cash back at 16,000 a Bitcoin, at $1,200 per Ethereum, and I think at $16 per Solana. Oh, what a kick in the nuts. We told you guys. We told you. Stay away from scam, bank run, fraud chicken. Stay the fuck away from FTX. It was always a bunch of bullshit. Always. From day -1, the people at Money Morning offered to fly me out to the Bahamas to one of those stupid ass conventions to go interview bank run fraud chicken. And I said, no, dude. Then I went on Twitter. You can look it up. And I said, that guy's going to end up in orange right next to Do Kwon. This was before, by the way, before Luna blew up. Why? Because Jeffrey Snyder and Emil Kalinowski and myself did a show about how algorithmic stable coins are not stable and can't stay stable. And then, like 4 days later, Luna blew up. And then that started the cascade. One after another, all of these shitty companies got busted. Luna, Three Arrows. I mean, this is not in the direct, this isn't the exact daisy chain, but this is basically all the ones that went, all the things that collapsed last year. So you had Luna, you had with their UST bullshit paying 20%. You had Three Arrows Capital and all the money that Kyle and Zushu stole from people and stupidly invested, including, I think one of the guys put a $50 million down payment on a boat. If $50 million is the down payment and your fund has lost billions of dollars, you're a thief, bro. You're not a fund manager. You're a fucking thief. Those guys are thieves. One of them's still on the run. I think Kyle is still on the run. Zushu did a little bit of time, but Kyle's still on the run. Like hiding his stuff. So those guys are douchebags. They went down. Celsius, of course, Celsius went down because Alex Mashinsky is a lying piece of shit, which we called him out. We called him out years ago on, not just me, there's a bunch of us, called him out because their math never worked. It's just a bunch of bullshit. These guys are so easy to see through. They're all so full of crap. So like when people promise you shit that can't possibly occur, then it can't possibly occur. Don't be consumed by this thing like, oh, everybody's going to get rich but me. No, they're not. If things sound stupid, they're stupid. You got to protect yourself. It's just so easy. Anyway, oof. But yeah, everybody got nuked. Jing, 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 all the way down. All right. Let me see. I'm almost got through these comments and we'll get to our brain. Then we'll get to our brain stuff. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions I need to knock out. Let's see. I use my phone for calling and receiving, not texting or photos. Okay. You're old. That's not old. I think that's smart. I mean, maybe some photos. It depends. If you're on Tinder, if you're on Grindr, if you're on Bumble, whatever floats your boat. All right. Let's see. Maybe we shouldn't listen. Sam, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should not listen to me. I might be a negative influence. But you're still not qualified to buy twin tokens. Nice try, though. All right. Yeah, if you don't understand what it is, don't buy it. That's the key. Don't buy anything that you do not understand. Rudy, what up? Yeah, you want to build your education. I mean, think about it. Would you go to college and on day 6, you're studying physics, and on day 6, they're like, "We're going to the accelerator lab. You ready to create a new molecule?" You're like, No, not really. Well, all you have to do is create 17 new molecules and hope that we don't have some kind of collision event that creates a spontaneous chain reaction and melts the whole universe. Yeah, I think I'm going to not do that. I think I'm going to stick to my like physics 101 book. Thanks, though. And matter of fact, let me know when you're doing that test. I'm going to go hang out in church and just wait for the end of times. Let's see. Yes, Howard, it started with the first ranting, buddy. The rant is part of the teaching, man. Ooh, I like that one. Learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor and diligence. Well played. Let's see. Yeah, that lemon cake's freaking good, man. They call it lemon loaf. I won't say lemon loaf because it sounds stupid. Like, I'm not going to tell someone, give me a lemon loaf. That sounds like a sex position. But I will say, can I have some of the lemon bread? Let's see. We are all professional students. Well said. Yeah, and, I know it's funny. Like, I'm really not. I guess I get frustrated for other people. I'm past the point of my own frustration. I don't buy stuff I don't understand, and I don't make excuses. I just go and like frustratingly learn it. And I've given a lot of projects a second and a third look, and still it looks like I'll tell you this. All of this hypey shit in Stellana. You don't think I've given that project like 14 looks? I can't recommend it. It's all voodoo and bullshit. All their tech is bullshit. All of this whole run, it's the same VCs that pushed it in the FTX days, just the ones that didn't go to jail. It's the same crooks pushing it to idiots, especially with all these meme coins and bullshit. That whole thing with their phone. Their phone is a piece of shit. The Solana phone is garbage. But they put some meme bullshit coins on there. And so everybody was like, oh, but if you buy the phone, there's $1,000 worth. Yeah, no, there isn't. Because by the time the word got out, the price of Boink or whatever the fuck that stupid token is, it got cut in half and then cut in half again. So you just have a bunch of people with a bunch of dumbass garbage phones doing crypto transactions on their phones. The most, flat-minded thing you could do. So like they are promoting really, really bad behavior. And it's just like everything so in my opinion, for me, I'm not going to be a part of a project that continually shits on people. They've been caught stealing. Their tech is bullshit. Their network crashes over and over. How big do you want it to get? Forget about the price of the token because they're not really running all that many transactions across it. Not compared to anyway, point is, when I say real transactions, trading meme coins is not transactions. Trading shitty NFTs is almost transactions because I will give them, not them, but the NFT space will eventually be real world documents and medical records and all sorts of things like that. Well, those versions of NFTs and when you're buying a house, a mortgage, and all of the things that go along with title checks, all this kind of stuff. All those digital elements can be serial numbered, protected, unique digital elements or digital assets, and that's the future of NFT. Non-fungibility is very valuable, so that's a good thing. So I'm not a hater of if I see a lot of NFT activity because that will eventually be a good thing. But when your whole platform is meme bullshit and that doesn't even work because anytime there's any load on the network, the whole thing crashes. And then the CEO or the co-founders say, what's the difference if it crashes for 72 hours? I mean, there's a big difference, dummy. So yeah, I give a lot of projects, even ones I hate. I'm like, okay, well, let me go look at it again and see if I missed something. Nope, still bullshit. Oh man. Okay, I had to switch from Brave to Chrome. Yeah, I use I guess it kind of depends, Donna. Some people have had weird issues because Brave blocks so many pop-ups, and if a website uses pop-ups as some part of its functionality, then that might be weird. Nice. Yeah, you got to be careful, man. If you have stuff on your phone, you're waiting. And everybody here, if you experience any success, you're gonna find yourself more of a target than before. You should only use the Ethereum network to send, because you're sending USDC to an Ethereum address. So here's the way everyone should do. You don't choose the network you want to use. You choose the network that they want to receive the asset in. That's how it works. If you have a MetaMask wallet and you send Ethereum-based USDC to the wallet, it's going to show up right there in the wallet. You can use other protocols, but it's going to show up in those network parts of the wallet. So you got to imagine your MetaMask wallet, it has all those other networks that you can run on. You can just initiate the networks. You can send stuff through Optimism. You can send it through Harmony One. You can send it through a variety of networks, but it's going to be in that part of the wallet, not in your Ethereum ERC20 MetaMask wallet. Well, if the final recipient wants ERC20 USDC, it's not the same USDC as what would be on Optimism or on any other layer 2 or sidechain. So you always want to think about the end result of a transaction. Where am I trying to get and what do they want? It's just like being in another country and they're like, we take pesos. I've got dollars. Well, we don't give a shit about dollars because we take pesos. Did you see that Russia and Iran are formally ending the dollar? All dollar transactions gone. Trade and otherwise. See you later. Bye. Isn't that weird? Good for them. Good for the BRICS, which, by the way, are completely unrelated. They're not even tethered by trade. It was just the BRICS whole thing was in a paper, an economics paper that was put forward some years ago. The BRICS are not like some union that's merged by borders. It's just in a paper. The guy was just using examples of countries that, disparate countries that are correlated only because of their dollar necessity in international trade and how kind of, and also kind of how, they're not so great. But you should look up the BRICS paper. It had nothing to do with creating an alliance. Like the BRICS nations, those little BRICS nations. None of these assholes care about each other. It's a machination of an economist. And even in the paper, he said there's no real. Oh God. Anyway, let's see. Can you use the Ethereum network to send money? Yes, man. Yes. Okay. All right, let me see if there's any other questions. Questions for IT people. Oh, I might not be able to get this one. I got a new crypto laptop as a Christmas gift. Yay. Should I load an antivirus program even though I got Windows Defender? Oh, I don't know about that. That's a good one, and I don't know it. I don't use Windows. But you got a PC. I know that. All right, let's see. Let me make sure there's no more questions. Well, then, Sam, if I told you to buy AGIX in October of 22 and it went up 16x, you got lucky. It's no different than if I told you to walk into a casino. And by the way, I didn't tell anybody to buy anything. I told people what I was buying. If you did or if you didn't, that's on you, bro. I've never told anyone to buy shit. If you guys have been listening to me for a minute, I don't tell anybody to buy anything. I tell you guys what I buy. What you buy is on you, bro. That's you. You got lucky. It's an undeserved victory, Sam. Good for you. You have some undeserved gains. Can you ever really erase crypto off of your phone? Yes. So what you can do is you can get the apps off of your phone, and then you can just reset your phone. Not a bad idea. But anyway, just saying. Yes, make sure you have Ethereum in your wallet as gas. Yeah, Adam, man. Remember, Adam and I used to do shows together all the time. We used to talk about these dudes. They've never been legit. They've never been. Yeah, so many scammers. God. Let's see. How do they recover enough money to pay everyone back? Well, they didn't. In FTX case, they're going to pay people back at that price based on what's left after this. Oh God, they're going to spend $1 billion plus in legal fees. What a scam. You know, the only people that are really winning, it's the lawyers. Everybody else is getting screwed. Like bad. Ugh. Ugh. Oh yeah. BlockFi. BlockFi was a little bit different in that they were just kind of stupid. That guy was, I never thought that guy was a creep. I thought he was an idiot. But anyway, BlockFi was basically punting people's Bitcoin over to Grayscale for a premium and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, BlockFi was stupid. And yeah, there's scanners everywhere. People are Wi-Fi sniffers and some more stuff. It's bad. Yeah, I mean, my name on Instagram is assume I'm a scammer. Like Nick, assume I'm a scammer. It's like everybody's out to steal all your shit. You guys know this. Come on. Even me. Assume that I'm trying to steal your shit. Just be like, oh, Nick's trying to steal all of our shit. You should assume everyone's trying to steal your stuff. The dude in the jungle that's paranoid, he's the dude that sees the wire hooked to the grenade. Everybody else just walking around like, oh, talking about what they're going to do when they get back from the war. Oh, yeah, man, I'm going to get back. I'm going to buy a Mustang. I'm going to drive country to country. I'm going to drive coast to coast and all that. You know, that's the guy that's going to die. Any dude in a movie in the beginning that's making plans for what he's going to do when he gets out in 3 days or 4 days, that dude's dead. Dead. Because movie math. All right. Okay. So finally, before we go into our classroom, the twin token launch that Sam is not allowed to participate in, but that everybody else can because they've read the white paper, unless you haven't, in which you can't. The revenue from that Nodm Market generates will be shared with the node. It'll be part of the January payment, which should be a nice one for anybody that owns the node NFT. And but the cutoff date for January is January 5th. So you have to have it by January 5th to get the 25th payout. And hopefully Ethereum won't suck so bad and you'll be able to claim. But we're working on gasless transactions, which is going to make things a lot better. So we're trying to roll that out. Toot sweet, but you can't rush code, man, because you have to get this stuff audited. Okay, let's go now. And let's get into our brain stuff, which we need to do. So I've got some cool terms we're going to talk about, which is all of them. All right? All of them.
Hello. You're late.
You're bad at math, but I'm giving you an A+ in confidence.
Just doing what I gotta do.
Extra credit.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about a handful of terms. Stocks, cryptocurrency, market, buying, selling, exchange, portfolio, volatility, bull market, bear market, dividend, initial public offerings, blockchains, liquidity, risk, order, bid price, ask price, spread, capital gain, capital loss, capital markets, market capitalization, options, call options, put options, strike price, expiration date, premiums, derivatives, future contracts, hedging, speculation, leverage, margin, underlying assets, in the money, out of the money, at the money, open interest, contract size, settlement, risk management, delta, gamma, theta, vega, rho, and alpha. You mofos. All that. That's right. That's right. I said it. Okay. You say, well, why are we doing this? This sounds crazy. Well, because, man, there's so many things that people don't know that we really need to know. All right. Yeah, lawyers always win. God, that's the other thing. Here, that's the first thing you need to learn about investing. Lawyers always win. That's it. Lawyers always win. All right. Let's talk stuff. I'm going to go through these clear. I'm just going to read through them. And then for those of you that are like, you want to play something in the background and you want to just absorb this stuff, you can just play it in the background minus the first 30 minutes of ranting. And then, and hopefully this stuff will sink in. These are all, you got to understand these basic things, man. If you don't own like the very, very basics, if you don't own these concepts, you're going to be in trouble. You're just going to be over your skis. All right. Stocks. Keep it easy. Stocks. Shares of a company that people can buy or sell. Owning a stock means you own a small part of that company. Now, asterisks. What do you really own? You own a small piece of equity in the company, which is not actually a piece of the company directly. It is the lowest tier of what's called the capital stack. And so it goes stock, common stock, preferred stock, junior debt, senior debt. Okay, senior debt. That's the only people that get paid back in an insolvency event. So if the company goes bust, senior debt holders get paid, some juniors get paid, no one else gets paid. Everybody else is screwed. If you're on the bottom of the capital stack, you're first in line for dividends, last in line at liquidation. Keep that in mind. That's the capital stack. Okay. What is cryptocurrency? Well, this is an easy one. A type of digital or virtual currency that uses cryptography for security, like Bitcoin or Ethereum or ... Nick, your question, can you avoid gas transactions? Some of them. You can't avoid gas transactions in the final transaction, right? The actual wallet swap, you have to ping the network. But in the setup, like what we're doing at Nodm Market, you'll be able to set up buy and sell orders without pinging the Ethereum blockchain until the transaction occurs. And then once the transaction occurs, there's one fee, not a setup fee, a cancellation fee, all these kinds of fees. You don't actually need to incur all those. So that's the way we're doing it. All right. Market. It's like market. I know this one. Do you? It is where stock, cryptocurrency, bonds, or other assets are traded. It could be a virtual marketplace. It could be a physical place that you go, old school, to the floor, but almost all of it's done digitally now. What are buying and selling? This will sound stupid. Buying, purchasing a stock or asset. Huh? You get it. Selling a stock or asset. Asset to mean like cryptocurrency. Exchange. Nodm Market's an exchange, but it's an OTC exchange. A platform where you can buy or sell stocks, cryptocurrencies, or other assets. Examples include the New York Stock Exchange, nodmarket.io, Coinbase for cryptocurrencies. I guess you could, there are even indirect markets. I don't want to get but there are futures markets where you can buy and sell a future. We used to do that a lot in the gold business, where if we had a lot of gold, every time we get 100 ounces of gold, we would sell a futures contract against it, because we have to pay out on that gold instantly. So we would sell a contract to keep the market. If the market walked away from us, we would get beat up. We'd either win or get beat up. That's too much risk, especially in like a highly volatile, precious metal is pretty volatile, but like in a high volatility, low yield business, in the gold business, you make like between 0.5 point and 1.5 points on gold. You have to melt a lot of gold to make any money. So you don't want to get it wrong one day and have 4,000 ounces of gold and you're supposed to tender it to a client. You bought it at 2,000 and then in the market's 1,900 the next day. So you're getting crushed because you paid 2,000 on 1,900 an ounce gold. You could see how that could go sideways very quickly. Anyway, portfolio, that is your collection of investments, right? It can include stocks, cryptocurrencies, other assets. Makes sense. Volatility. How much the price of a stock or cryptocurrency goes up or goes down. High volatility means the price can change a lot in a very short amount of time. When you have anemic markets, right? When you have less participants or less participation in a market, like over the holidays, pop quiz, does volatility go up or go down? I'll let you guys answer in time. Bull market, a market where prices are generally rising or expected to rise, right? When you look at a bond market, you look at a yield curve out over time, you say, oh, well, the further I go in the yield curve, the more I am assuming if it's up and to the right, I'm assuming, hey, growth and inflation expectations. If that curve starts to drop, that is also a growth and inflation expectation. The other direction, right? You learn a lot from the curves. A bullish yield curve is sloping up and to the right. A bearish one could be inverted or flat. All right. There's some yield curve action in there. What is a bear market? It's a market where prices are falling or expected to fall over the near to long term. And typically when you're saying a bull market or a bear market, you're saying that this is more than some short-term effect. So you're saying at least a year or more. You don't have a 2-month bull market or a 16-day bear market. Those are just vacillations in price. All right. Dividends. So if I own stock, from the very first thing we talked about, I could be in line for a dividend, a payment made by a company to its shareholders, usually from its profits, right? Remember, if you own stock, first in line for dividends, last in line at liquidation. So if you buy equity in a company that's probably going to go bankrupt, you may get paid dividends, but you ain't getting nothing if they go under. It's only usually senior debt holders, senior bond holders. All right, initial public offering, an IPO. You've heard ICO, initial coin offering, ITO, initial token offering. This is an IPO when a company first sells its stock to the public. Now, initial public offering may be the first time you get to buy. That thing has probably traded hands and gone up in value. An IPO, internally and privately, an IPO is not a chance for you to get into the market. It is a chance for early investors to exit on your neck. An IPO is not new. It's just new to you. Keep that in mind. The initial public offering, there's nothing really interesting about it. It is an exit. You are the original investor's exit liquidity. Now, is that a bad thing? No, not really, because it's fair that initial investors that took the risk when things weren't so certain get paid for that risk. Risk equals reward. More risk can equal more reward, but it's more risk, right? So I'm not against IPOs, but in the traditional equity space, when you're involved in an IPO, you didn't win shit. You didn't get in early. You're late, real late. Just keep that in mind. All right. What is a blockchain? So it's more okay, I have to say this carefully because there is the loose term of blockchain-based projects where that kind of encompasses the crypto space, right? Disintermediated systems. But there are a lot of protocols that are not blockchains in the general traditional sense. So you kind of go back to Bitcoin and Ethereum when you're thinking about these things. A block of data, right? A chain of those blocks, like in Bitcoin's term, every 10 minutes, a block is created with all the transactions in the last 10 minutes. It's propagated out to the network. After 3 or more consecutive blocks, they count that block as being a legit block. And then every 10 minutes, there's a new block and a new block and a new block. That is a chain of blocks. That is the blockchain. That's how it first worked. But essentially, it's used loosely to refer to the technology behind cryptocurrencies. It is a digital ledger that records all transactions across a network. All right. You know what else you can call that? You can call it a digital ledger, right? It can also be called a distributed ledger technology, right? So there we go. Liquidity. We talked about volatility. Let's talk liquidity. This is how easy an asset can be converted into cash without affecting its market price. So if there's tons and tons of people in the market and you sell some of this asset, then it's not going to probably move the price unless you sell a large percentage of that asset. And then based on your sell, the market might not be liquid enough to absorb that, right? In low liquidity assets, this is another reason why we built Nodm Market, because in low liquidity assets, especially those that just live on DEXs, decentralized exchanges, a sell of a very small amount or a purchase of a very small amount, because they are illiquid, can move the price quite dramatically. It increases volatility. Lower liquidity is typically correlated with higher volatility. Higher liquidity is correlated with lower volatility. They're inversely proportionate, right? Risk, something that some of us do and some of us don't understand. Risk is the potential for losing money in an investment. Who all's here? How many people are here? 185 people. I want to see 185. If you write nothing else, risk, the potential for losing money in an investment. Write it. I want every one of you to write it. I'm going to say it again. So so you can't get it wrong. Risk, the potential for losing money in an investment. All of this is risk. Every ounce of anything that you put into any market is risk capital. Risk. Yes. Cruzen nails it. Sean nails it. Yes. Yes. Joe, Lawrence, you're giving me my faith back. I'm waiting to see Sam's, unless he already rage quit. This is important. You have to understand this is all risk. Yeah? Okay, so risk, the potential for losing money in an investment. We don't want to lose money, but there's always the potential to lose money in investment. That's what we're doing. Let's go to order. Instructions to buy or sell an asset like stocks or cryptocurrency. You're putting in instructions. Sometimes it can be an order that is locked at a certain price, like a limit order. There's a variety of different orders. We don't have to get into all that, but basically an order. You're putting in instructions to buy or sell an asset, whether it's stocks, bonds, X, Y, Z, or crypto. Bid price. You guys hear, sometimes people confuse these. You have bid and ask, and you're like, bid, ask, spread, what the shit is all? Okay, bid. This is the highest price a buyer is willing to pay for a stock. That's why the green column, the very top, that's the high bid, the highest bid. Like, I'm bidding in an auction. I'll take it for $3. And someone's like, I'll take it for $3.30. Okay, $3.30 is now the bid, the highest bid, right? Okay, what is the ask? That's the lowest price a seller is willing to accept for an asset. So the column that's red, you'll notice that when you look at exchanges, there's a red column and a green column. The top of the green is the bid. That's the highest order. That's the highest offer to purchase. The lowest red price, which is close to the bid, and the difference is the spread. That's the difference. That's the bid-ask spread. The lowest price to sell, meaning the guy's like, I'll sell it for $3.60. So we have the highest buyer who's willing to pay $3.30 and the lowest priced seller willing to sell at $3.60. The bid-ask spread is 30 cents. Does that make sense? Yes. Good. And so, yes, the spread is the difference between the highest bid price and the lowest ask price. The tighter that spread typically shows you more liquidity in the markets. That's good. Bigger spread, bigger volatility. Okay. What is a capital gain? Oh, you guys better know this. It's good. April's coming. The capital gain is profit from selling an asset like a stock or cryptocurrency or a house for more than its purchase price. That's a capital gain. What's a capital loss? It is a loss incurred from selling an asset like a stock or cryptocurrency or a house or a car for less than its purchase price. Capital loss, capital gain. There's all sorts of tax strategies around that. Okay. Market capitalization. The total value of a company's shares of stock. Okay. For cryptocurrencies, it's the total value of all coins in circulation. That's why they'll show you the current market cap in the total, like the complete diluted, like all the tokens in circulation market cap. So like with Bitcoin, you have two market caps. You have the right now market cap, and every 10 minutes more Bitcoin kind of appears, but there is a total market cap because there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin in the year 2140 minus what has been lost. Okay. So that would be the the current market cap versus the total market cap. All right. These are basic terms that you must have. Okay. Let's go a little deeper. Let's do some more terms because we love terms. Let's go options, which we don't do a lot of because there aren't really good liquid options markets in crypto, but I think that will change here in the next coming months. Options are contracts that give you the right, but not the obligation. Okay. to buy or sell an asset at a predetermined price on or before a certain date. Options expire. Pop quiz. How many options contracts expire worthless percentage-wise? Does anybody know this? I know some of you do. Brandon, you're not allowed to answer it if you're here. You're thinking. 90% of options contracts. Yes. Sean and Lance nailed it. Yes, most of you nailed it. It's not 99%, Mary. No one would do it if it was 99%, but it's 90% on the average, about 90%. And that is contracts that expire worthless. So knowing that 90% of the options expire worthless, do you want to be a buyer of those options that mostly expire worthless? Or do you want to be a seller of those options? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I want to be a seller, man. Be the casino, bro. Be a seller. Be an aggregate seller. Yes. What is a call option? A call option gives you the right to buy a stock or asset at a specific price at a set expiration date. Depending on if they're European or American, depends on how you can exit that trade. I'm not going to get into that because that gets into the weeds. But for the most part, you have the expiration date, and that's the final moment that you can act on this. Okay. Some of these automatically execute. Some of them you can early execute. All right. And execution just means not murdering someone or terminating someone. It means just actually performing on that option, right? Like if you had a call option to buy an asset to actually buy it, right? Or you could do a form of exit by if that option was in the money, worth more than you paid, perhaps you could sell it, just sell the option itself without taking the underlying asset. What is a put option? A put is a contract that gives you the right to sell a stock or an asset at a specific price within a set period of time. The strike price. This is the predetermined price at which an option can be exercised. Okay. So I'm selling 10 contracts at 42,000. Okay. I'm buying 17 at 160,000 for 3 years from now, whatever. Okay. That's the strike price. Expiration date. Obvious, right? The date on which the option contract becomes void and the right to exercise that, whether it's buying or selling or exiting, it no longer exists. One day after the expiration date, it's still worthless, right? It's worthless. You have to exercise or you have to sell or buy the underlying, not the underlying, you have to sell or buy that options contract before expiration. I can't tell you how many times I was selling Bitcoin, I was selling covered calls, and they were in the money and people wouldn't exercise them. So I got the money and I got to keep the Bitcoin. This is the craziest thing because people are messing around with stuff they don't understand and they're losing money because they don't understand risk. Okay, what is the premium? That's the price you pay to purchase an options contract. You're paying a premium to lock up that asset at a certain price for a certain amount of time. Okay, here's where it starts to get tricky. What are derivatives? These are financial instruments whose value is derived from the value of an underlying asset, some index, or some interest rate. Okay. The reason the financial economy is so big is because the derivative market creates markets on top of markets on top of markets. It's like being behind the fourth wall, but like it goes into the Rick and Morty-ification of like markets. But you can have gold, and then you can have paper gold, an ETF. Then you can have a 3X paper gold. Then you can have options against the ETF that's the 3X paper gold. All of these represent a call on gold, but there's only like 1 ounce of gold, and there's like 500 synthetic derivative pieces. So think fasts, forwards, futures, swaps, like CDSs, options. Those are all forms of derivatives against one this or one that, one Bitcoin, one piece of gold, one ounce of silver. Okay. Futures contract, an agreement to buy or sell an asset at a future date at a agreed upon price today. Okay. Futures contracts sound a lot like options, only in this case, you have to have the underlying asset or be willing to accept the underlying asset to participate. unless it's cash settled. You have to have the cash though. All right, hedging. We try to hedge, right? Using derivatives to reduce the risk of adverse price movements in an asset that you may own. All right. Don't worry, we're almost there. Speculation. The practice of making risky financial transactions in an attempt to profit from short-term fluctuations in the market. Speculators. All right, speculators, they don't always do so well. Leverage. We talk about leverage. We don't like leverage. Using borrowed money like an asshole to increase the potential return of an investment, which also increases the potential risk. Yes, proportionately with that leverage. Don't take leverage. Don't do it, man. Margin, a form of leverage. Money borrowed from a broker to purchase an investment. By the way, for those of you that have margin accounts, do you know that if the exchange loses money, they can pilfer those margin accounts? Even if you don't, they can pilfer your regular account. If you have an exchange account anywhere and you have marginability, they can take money from your other account. Even if it's a money market, they can take all of it to repay debts. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. Even if you're not using margin, even if you've never used it, if you click the button to have margin, they can take money from, if they go insolvent, you should read about it. Do not have a margin account. Do not. All right. Underlying asset. The security or cryptocurrency or asset on which a derivative contract is based, right? Derivatives against Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the underlying asset, the thing in the middle that all of the financialized bullshit pivots off of. All right. In the money, in a call option situation, when the underlying asset like Bitcoin is above the strike price, you said, okay, 36,000, but the price right now is 42,000. You are in the money, 6,000. For a put option, it's when it's below the strike price. Does that make sense? So for a call, in the money is above. For a put, in the money is below. That's all you have to kind of remember for right now. What is out of the money? For a call option, it's when the underlying asset, let's say that Bitcoin, where the price is below the strike price. So let's say you bought those 36s, but Bitcoin is 32,000. It's out of the money, right? For a put option, it's when it's above, right? So you might have sold some put options. Well, this gets into the weeds, but anyway, for a put option, it's when the price of the asset is above, because it's the exact opposite of a call option. It's when the price is above. Does that make sense? I know this again, if you're not trading options, this may not be super important, but you want to have been exposed to it. So again, out of the money. On a call option, it's when the asset's price is lower than the strike price. Okay. For a put option, it's when the asset's price is higher than the strike price. What is at the money? That's when the underlying asset's price is exactly the same price of the option. You bought the 36, it's at 36. It wipes out. Money gone. There's no value to that. It's not in the money. In the money is where you make money. Open interest. This is the total number of outstanding derivatives contracts, like options or futures, fast forward swaps, whatever, that have not been settled. Okay, that's kind of the people that are still left in the trade. Contract size, the amount of the underlying asset that is covered by the derivatives contract. Okay, settlement. That's the process of resolving a derivative contract, either by physical delivery. Hey, here's your gold. Or the asset, maybe I deliver oil, right? Like I had some oil, or by cash settlement. So there's cash settled. A lot of futures contracts are cash settled. Most things get cash settled, except in commodities markets where the intent is that the actual commodity is moving around, like the oil market. Okay, risk management. The process of identifying, assessing, and controlling threats to an organization's capital and their earnings. All right, let's do one last little bit here. I'm going to go through the Greeks just so that you have it. Most of you, this will not matter at all, period, full stop, and it's going to sound like gibberish. But for a few of you, this will resonate. Delta, gamma, theta, vega, and rho. What up, rho? Delta. This measures how much the price of an option is expected to move for every $1 change in the price of that underlying asset. So let's like Bitcoin, right? For example, a delta of 0.5 means that the option's price will move 50 cents for every $1 move in the underlying asset. And you can use that to just get an idea of, okay, if the price goes to here, what would that mean? That's the delta, all right? The gamma, this measures the rate of change in delta, right? How much the delta will change for a $1 change in the price of the underlying asset. It shows how stable or unstable the delta is. A high gamma means delta changes rapidly, and this indicates higher risk. So really all you want to learn about that is the gamma is, the higher the gamma means that the delta is changing very fast, and that means a generally riskier trade. Higher gamma, higher risk. Lower gamma, lower risk. Okay? Theta. This measures the rate at which an option's value decreases as time passes, also known as time decay. You can think theta is easy. T, time decay. If the theta is like negative 5 basis points or negative 0.05, that'd be 5 basis points, right? The option's value decreases by 5 cents every day. So in that case, you can think of basis points as pennies. Cool. There's all sorts of options. Different platforms have all sorts of different options. Options contracts that you can play with. I just choose to only be a net seller. So most of these things I don't have to worry about these things. That's the buyers, the gamblers deal. That's not my deal. I'm selling. I'm willing to accept what I get for it. All right. Vega. This measures sensitivity to volatility. Okay. So just think V. So theta, T, was time decay. Vega, V, sensitivity to volatility. It indicates how much the price of an option changes when the volatility of the underlying asset changes by 1%. So Bitcoin, the price changes by 1%. What is the price action of the option relative to that? High vega means the option's price is highly sensitive to volatility. So makes sense, right? High V, high vega, high volatility, which means the price is subject to a lot of wonkiness. Low vega, low volatility in price sensitivity, right? So you don't have to use these a lot, but you can kind of like work your brain through them. And rho measures the sensitivity of an option's price to changes in interest rates. So it indicates how much the price of an option will rise or fall if interest rates change by 1%. This has never, ever been something that I've ever factored, ever. But it does come into play if you were like a large asset manager, like at a trading desk or something like that. You were doing, $14 billion worth of currency swaps a day, or interest rate swaps, or whatever. This could come into play, and then the interest rate curves and various government interventions, things like that could become a big deal. So for those of you that are in on that. And then finally, the last little bit would just be alpha. And that is simply, just so that we get this right moving forward, in financial markets, in financial terms, not on Twitter and all this other bullshit, but in the real world, alpha refers to the measure of performance on a risk-adjusted basis of your portfolio. Alpha is used to determine the excess return of an investment relative to the return of a benchmark index or some other comparable standard. To keep it super simple, alpha, it's not, show me the alpha. That doesn't mean like super secret squirrel shit. Alpha means the value that a portfolio manager adds or subtracts from a fund's return. A positive alpha indicates the fund performed, meaning fucking math, meaning the numbers perform better. You can't have alpha until you have numbers to measure it, right? It's not some colloquial talky shitty term like, oh, I got some good alpha from Bob. Really? You got some good performance on his fund? That doesn't make any sense. You just sound like an idiot. Positive alpha indicates that a fund has performed like math better than its benchmark index. And that's after you account for volatility and or any kind of risk taken and leverage. So a negative alpha means the fund has underperformed relative to the index. Words mean things. If people talk the way they talk on Twitter to people in finance, it's no wonder they get laughed at. If you sound like a dumbass, you're going to get treated like a dumbass. It doesn't matter what your cognitive capacity or intellectual dexterity is. If you sound like a schmuck, guess what? You're a schmuck. No one takes you seriously. The reason people laugh at the crypto space is because of a bunch of dumbass punters that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All we have to do to work our way in is just a little bit play within the rules. We can't just change all the terms that legacy banking and finance has had for the last 500 years because we want to put a bunch of stupid ass crypto bro terms. It just doesn't work that way. Like, this is why people laugh at crypto. This is why people laugh at people. Like, that's why if you do good in crypto, people don't say well done. They say, oh, you got lucky. I mean, mostly they're right. Mostly you did get lucky. Because most of the people in the crypto space, they don't have the vocabulary, they don't have the precision in speech to even express what their thoughts are. They just sound like a bunch of idiots. So, at least with some of these terms, we can be a little bit more precise about the way we communicate our ideas, even among our peers, but to ourselves, right? So, there. Not a bad little session. Okay. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything my poor insolvent drunk, strung it on meth grandmother wouldn't do. And as you know, that's very little because she'll do most everything. Also, be back with Brandon tomorrow. We'll give you an update. I think 63 or 64% now subscribe for the twin launch. That's fun. So that'll be here in a few days. The last day to actually swap USDC for your allocation is the 31st. Then all the tokens that were unallocated are going to go into a little second chance bucket. People will be given 3 days to participate in that. 1, 2, 3, January 1, January 2, January 3. That's it. That's the end. You didn't get your stuff. You didn't get your stuff. I'll buy the rest. I'll take the rest of them tokes. All right. And then within a day or two of that, the 4th or 5th, the tokens, you'll get them. They will be into your wallet. Okay, cool. Be smart. And be smart means just ask questions. Know when you're in over your head. Know when you're in the weeds. If any of the stuff I say pisses you off, then you don't have the dexterity to be in the crypto space. You shouldn't be investing shit. You should be going back to the basics. And if that's too much for anybody here, if this ruffles anyone's feathers, fuck off. Go somewhere else. Go get a job working, where someone tells you what to do because you're not ready to take moments of your life, convert them into currency, and punt them into these dangerous ass, treacherous markets. If you are, the rewards can be very good, but don't just buy something because someone told you. It doesn't matter what someone's doing. It matters why someone's doing. Once you start asking why more, then you're going to crush it. And then when someone says you got lucky, you can tell them to go fuck themselves because you didn't get lucky. You earned it. You want to have earned this stuff. Don't just fall into it, man. All right. See you tomorrow.
Tired of all the uneducated noise you're getting from the droves of YOLO meme coin peddling douchebag gurus out there trying to use you as their exit liquidity? Would you rather learn a competent university level set of skills that will guide you in managing and investing for the rest of your life? Join us 3 days a week at Digital Investor. Develop your knowledge of game theory, cognitive bias, macroeconomics, monetary theory, investment theory, psychology of the crowds, and more. For more info on Digital Investor and how it can help you, reach out at nickblacknext.com.